utlwana le motho and then o tsama o lo robalana le batho ba bangata. How many spirits have you carried inside you at that timing point? You understand that? So how o kenya di spirits di ngata tse mo mmeleng wa hao? Wa re tlo tsa o le berekele jwang? Because o kentse di spirits tse di ngata mo mmeleng wa hao. And how understand gore motho o na le bati, o na le lucky, o na le bontsho robala le.
Does using a condom help protect you
from? It does not help because ntsela ya motho it's very deep.
Yo, I believe 5 years. Yeah, single queer way of life. But this is what rendered in the church. Yo, baby, with a cocoa, with a kuluba. Okay, thanks. I've always wanted to do that. Welcome to the Queer of Life with me, Bujy, Amanda, and Katli. We're back, the baddest team in the building. Hey, how are you guys feeling?
Good.
We're good. I want to go when I'm cool. No,
we're good, man. We're happy that we are going to. This is episode 7, right? No, we are going.
Yeah, now I don't have much to say except Jesus.
So, guys, today we're joined by a very spiritual person. We otwasile esangoma omprofiti omahona tsohle ibile ngithokoza gogo thokoza ngiyafila njani ngiyaphila. So how do I address you? Do I call you by your name all the time or how does it work?
I'm Mkhulu Mutejwa.
Mkhulu Mutejwa.
Yes, it's Sotho. But then it's way too difficult for people to pronounce my closing name. So I'd prefer Bari Mkhulu Ulifile.
Mkhulu Ulifile. Yes. So, you know what? I have been going to a lot of Zangoma Mkitis, right? And a part of me used to sit there and I would roll my eyes. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah?
Not Zangoma Mkitis, Manchoman.
Kick Manchoman. Choma, I don't know the language. You guys need to school me. So Amanchoman, when you do the Mkiti, it's called Amanchoman. Yes. So I would go there and a part of me sometimes felt like most queer people, when you're trying to defend yourself being queer, you always end up your twasa. I saw it as becoming a trend at some point, you know. I saw it also with the celebrity culture. I went to I mean, I've never really been clear about it, and that's why I respect the fact that you're here today. I'm always spending time with Katli. Even Katli, you know, he's going through the whole process, and sometimes when he tries with me, Amanda, like when he's Katli, it's your place. Don't. Not while we're drinking. You come here, you're saying, how? Tell them they are dead. And that is so, I'm like, tell me the whole journey of you, like Uktwas, and also being a queer man. Uguti, how did it go about?
Okay, it started off at a young age. I think I was doing grade 4 at the time, so I did not understand what was going on with me. But then because at home or my family, we go to a spiritual church. So that's where I actually got a grasp of a few things of what was going on with me. I think at that time I was shown January, it's 15 years back, by the way.
Yeah.
I was shown where I have to go and get initiated, but I didn't want to go. So I took the church route. Being a prophet.
Yeah.
Yes. But then it was quite difficult because they were here. If they're here, they're here. Bafana na MacG.
Location.
So it got to a point whereby I was at church. But it got to a point whereby I actually went into a trance. It was a trance, and then I walked from that place to the place where I had to get initiated in July.
That is
Mind you, I was shown in January, but then I went there July. It was quite painful because I had to move away from my family and everything, go live with other people, a new environment and everything. But I got to actually grow into that environment and be able to learn everything, gain knowledge and everything. So it was.
So your sexuality had nothing to do with it?
No, because sexuality is something which is, I won't say it's a bonus, but it's me.
Yeah.
So it's who I am. So I don't actually define myself and say, oh no, Ulifile, when you go to a certain place, you need to actually hold yourself like this or be like this. No. I'm that person which I'm outspoken. So from a distance, you can see with them, oh, Nasis Kesan.
Nasis Kesan, yeah. When last did I hear that name? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got such a beautiful smile. Actually, now I'm seeing it.
Is it like a Sangoma thing from Koko to Koko Mkulu to Mkulu? What's happening?
I'm not a Gogo.
You're Mkulu. You're a Baba. You see, guys, you see why I always roll my husband. But I don't pronounce
it's
he, she, they are, we are. Okay.
When you start getting initiated, I get always Sangoma it. But then when you grow, you become a gobela, you twasisa, in which is where we are right now. So your names change. Konamanje, they call me Coco because I have great grandchildren. You understand? So they call me Coco
in the spiritual world.
Oh. So it's that's why I don't like being out there. You understand? Because I don't like the fact that some people actually use this as an opportunity for them to broadcast or use it as an opportunity to lie about the spirit world.
Yes, let me tell you. I was once in Tembisa, and so now these guys came to me. And specifically with this one, I want to focus on the queer sangomas, and then they came, and then usually when Emanchomani, one thing that I cringe when someone apatomwe and then they look at me. So usually I'll sit outside the tent because I don't want them to. So now these ones are coming to me and then, yo, and I'm just like, oh my God, please don't, please stay away.
Yeah.
And then now when they're here, and then they're speaking, so I'm like, okay, the other one translates. Then my me, now. So I was just like, oh man, can't do it.
Is consent a big thing? Like consent, is it something that exists within the Sangoma sphere?
I don't know how to define it, but then I'll just explain the way in which I understand. So with the queer gay community, Sangomas, so there is this trend which is going on, of which they like to and do all those bad things in a way, in an appropriate way, so that we don't actually be able to understand.
Yeah, because it's like a little competition.
Yes.
Even like no MacG,
It's a competition.
And also, the level of promiscuity that happens there, guys. Like, meeting hi guys, hi. Please, like, I would sit there and be like, can't lama because I've always said something a better can't
la cantina.
Because I'm just like, and the level of promiscuity as well, and the way I've seen it happen in front of my eyes, it has made me at some point feel like, like when it comes to I'm not only talking about the queer or the gay or the lesbian, I'm talking about also the heterosexuals, which like sex is like a main thing. Is it into a or into yokuthi
Bantu basile.
abantu basile or kanjani?
You know, I'm still conducting a research regarding that by myself. Because I don't understand right now what's going on. Because everyone about Twasa, everyone on moya. So I don't understand. So I'm still researching because I want to understand is it a thing back then madlozaruna neledi gay ba hira sexuality bone so ba ipontsha ka rona, or is it that thing okay when out la monna, let's say you're a female and you're going to be lesbian and then you're going to understand?
Don't you think that is also sometimes like an excuse of...
In most cases, it's an excuse. For most people, it's an excuse, especially right now because of. But why so I have to act feminine. So you don't understand or because that's why I always say to people, you know now for guitar and everything, I do not like them. I can do them, but I do not like them. But that's where you'll be able to see
Oh,
So
is sing Beyonce Deja Vu. Oh, okay.
For like Gobela abuses, like how does it happen often as much as but like abuse at them, because I hear people saying, guys, it's bad.
It's bad. Others have been
like,
sexually abused as well.
Yeah.
So most people do get sexually abused, and but behind this thing, it's a norm or it's what's supposed to happen to you or abuse sexually. Understand? And there's another thing which people do, and all those things. We went through those things back then, but right now it's very rare. And then what?
Exactly.
So how it's not treat them bad. If you look at treat them as moto, but then there's a time whereby maybe let's say moto wa kena tlo tlhatlhoba or batho ba kena ba tlo tlhatlhoba tshwantse le gore motho I create more that space wa moruta motho gore no, train yourself. I get it for the main factor gore motho a kena mo lefetlong ke gore a train le dlos la gore le sa ne le tsoga pleke tso tsotlhe tsena yes, you should be able to train yourself or communicate le lone le se le tso gore no, what do you want, tell me gore ke tle ke khona transfer a message or something. Understand? So if le gore motho o le gore o tla ba batla go taboga all the way o ye kwa le kwa, then what are you doing? And then how fit mo parting abuse and then or abuse ngwana batho because of otso gala ke le dlozi or abuse ngwana batho because of matlosa a mmontsha ditse le gore wena ha o di tsebe escobela.
Oh, so there's also jealousy.
There's a lot of jealousy.
There's a lot of jealousy mo bongakeng.
And Gobela e khona go block.
Yes.
E khona block us so that you don't grow spiritually and that you are not able to connect with those that have given you the powers. Because remember, the journey of Twaso, it doesn't necessarily mean we are all directed in the same path. Like now, when I started the process, Gobela had already told me, so there's no need for you to come and stay here for 3 months. Thursday ka Sunday. And I need you to, however, be constant. You need to come here every week because
isn't that like private school initiation? Like when
well, I've had the gift for I think it's been 6 years now, but not understanding what was going on with me. I found myself pekula friends.
We used to run away from you.
They would run away from you because the first time...
Because you'll be sitting, the next thing it tells you...
Durban, July.
I was like...
Almost 10 years ago.
I'm like, why are you doing this?
You know?
I'm like, leave me alone.
And the thing is, people don't understand when it happens, you don't have control of it. Somehow, there's connection spiritually that is forcing you to say something, because if you don't, people don't understand, it doesn't sit well with you. I can actually get into an accident because I didn't perform the duty that I was asked to perform at that time. And it has really affected me to a point where and you sometimes little director ko lona le nyaka o yeng ko teng, not wena ko o naganang gore o tla thola thuso ko teng. Because ke kene ka tswa ka ya profeteng ka ya ko Sangomeng a ke itlhetlhile, and ke tsamaile all these provinces, not understanding gore I don't have to go and search for the answers. I have the answers within me.
Okay.
All I have to do is just understand and follow what the messages are. And when I was taken to Kobela Assisting, and I'm still going through the whole process because honale badimo ba ileng gore ba feel gore okay o feditse ka, but se salang re sa e batla khomo. You understand? Gore o fitile process ya dinku le yes o tlhakantshitse o re biditse ra amohela, but re batla mmereko wa rona at the end of the day. So whether I've completed the process or not, go sana le sekoloto se se leng teng. And this is where it really pains me to see dikobela se leng gore banka mathwasana abashimane just to benefit sexually from them.
And also it turns to be, please help me with this one. When the whole money that you spend during initiation, because now I've heard some people saying they've went through a process of saying you will not get out of this house if they don't bring us a cow, because this is what your ancestors want. And I want to find that maybe your ancestors are just like, we are fine, cut chicken, my love, you know. And then like it becomes more of a money making scheme. And how are you able to control this? How do you know? Like it's so.
Show me, it's very difficult to explain, but as I said, your spirit guides you. Holy motho abadimo, and uphetho abantu abaphansi basemanzini or wherever the case is that's with you. Gobela hey le gore ke motho ileng gore o genuine. They will tell you gore wena umuntu amadlozi. So abayifuni imali, ukana wa thwasa ka skoloto. You know why? Because umuntu amadlozi. So it means you are in the right place. Her ancestors and your ancestors are connecting and they're agreeing to get you through this journey without you having money. So I mean, I didn't spend more than 10,000 for twice, and I don't have to.
Including home.
No, well, I'm talking about the process. I get a
okay.
It's my own.
Is it that expensive?
It's very expensive. It's very expensive.
Very expensive.
But I
So
don't
since
get
you
that
guys are
money.
able to communicate with the madlozi, give me the man.
cannot do that.
You can't do that.
You
Can't tell
cannot do
them.
that.
You cannot.
You know what? But you can't say to them, no.
You o ka kgona go thethisa madlozi a gago.
Yeah.
Or gore ba etse ntho e right. Because at the end of the day, I get we tsamaile wa lo tshwasa ke. So you need to see the results. So if it's about the results, then what? Ne ba go itse gore lo tshameka ko pele ko. You understand? Don't ba thethisa batho. And there's something which I want to outline a lot of batho ba understanding. Ha re lo tshwasa ha re fiwe ka go tshwana. Go na le batho ba tsamaya ba lo tshwasa e bo fiwa gore no o le file o tlo bereka batho. O lo ba fiwa gore wena o le file o tlo nna le mathwasa. O la ba fiwa gore ka tle go no wena o tla bereka le kgowa and o tlo nna le tšhelete. You understand that? So it's far two different things. But then go bereka go msamo tlo bereka at times. Mara ba go buletse thata ko kae ko site nya ba ya makgowa. You understand that? Or ba go bulele sekolo.
It's not one size fits all.
Yes, because but automatically batho ba ngata ba ipela gore ha ke kena go le fetlong. Okay. Ha ke tswa tsantse ke ne le mathwasa tsantse ke tlhatlhobe batho every day. No.
And it's not the
about that.
case.
Because also you've got onali madlozi e leng gore sometimes there's two. So they're in constant battle because one wants power over, you know,
The other.
Of course. And for me it was also a bit confusing because kinale ngaka. That's why kinale bungaka and then kamo kinale bukrek. So I ended up having to ask them, because you go through the whole process, as I said, some of the things we can't discuss. But you go through the whole process in asking them, and there's things that you do in order for them to come to you and give you the message. And obviously the messages come, sometimes you are taking a shower or a bath, and then there's just something, you know, that inner voice. You hear it talking to you. It's telling you what needs to be done. I mean, when I heard that I need to end up, you know, having a church, I was like, na kreke, zhuang. It doesn't make sense. And people expect you to apare dipeta and all that. This is all I was given because that's what they want me to be.
I had that bracelet, by the way. My mom also had one.
You bought it? You put it.
I like things.
But
In
remember,
fact,
your
well,
mom
somebody gave it to me.
Let's not go there. Your mom was also spiritually gifted, and you
My
are
mom
aware of
was, even Nomkulu.
Insimbi, your moy.
that.
You can actually outline it like that.
Yeah,
or-
it's difficult to
yeah.
explain, guys. But somebody needs to give it to you. You can't buy it for yourself and put it on.
I've got a question, Katla. Why is it that it seems as though, like Dilotan Dumba, ne? Once they out in the media space, it's like you guys are exposing. Are you able to?
It's like a cult.
Yo, I can't use can't use the word cult, but for lack of a better word, let's say. Sometimes it seems as though like nothing makes sense. Like I don't want to lie. Only now I'm starting to be open. I'm starting to be open for such invitations. But I'm just wondering why like but sometimes you see these things on TV and you guys are not happy. Some of you.
Okay, can I answer that for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So honale into we have noticed it for years. In Zezala.
Okay.
So honale batho ba ile gore ba tsama ba ile fetlong or re no be re fetsa process a rona. So the reason why we hide ntho tse gore di a di etsa ko le fetlong, it's because honale batho ba ka montle ba ile gore they learn things from certain people or they learn things from watching gore re etsa eng, and then they become jotseo. And ba sa notice gore at the end of the day ba affecta batho ba le gore batho ba ba hodisa mo moyeng. O tla bo o re ona o tshotse mo ndao mara o sa o thwasa mo ndao. Understand? Ebe go kena motho o tlotswang ke moya serious o bore ke re kena mo lefetlong ke o nne le thwasa la ka o ba nna le thwasa la hao ha o fetse motho sa mo ndao o sa buitse o le gore wena o gainile knowledge from go tsama ko meketeng.
Oh, communicating like
Yes.
hey, and I've seen that happen. Someone can.
Wa thwasisa. And then how understand gore o afeta le tsa motho in as much as o afeta la hae o afeta le la hao le gore wena maybe when o feel bo go thwasa makhosi
Or maybe you're not even supposed to be there.
How it's you know, it's very serious to a point whereby batho ba tsaba shwele because of certain things. And batho ba understand gore ntwe tse di ba affecta gore ha o lematsa motho mo lwena be noticed or o tlo mala lwena self.
Damn.
Hey guys, it goes deep in the ocean.
Yeah.
It gets deep.
It is very deep.
And now
It's a personal thing.
People
don't understand that it's so personal. It is. I'm seeing all these reality TV shows, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But it's so personal to a point where we've actually lost the plot of spirituality.
that's
in terms
why
of ancestral journey. We've lost it. We are commercializing. People are commercializing this so much because for them it makes sense to do it because they want to get money.
others even become celebrities because of that.
Hence
Now
the
they.
saying, you know, it
Is there anything wrong though? Because I see that also pastors
My
become
opinion, yes, it is.
become celebrities and so forth. So
It's highly wrong.
My opinion.
is it?
It is
When you look
highly
watch Umdeni, by the way, I love Utabula and I love the whole drama.
Not to my man.
When you watch such shows, what happens to you guys? Do you get hurt or do you feel like you've been ridiculed or? Because for some of us as entertainment, I usually watch it and I don't personalize it, to be honest. Because at first I used to be a bit angry at what was happening. Now I've learned to watch it for what it is and not make it about me. So do you feel like it's disrespecting what you guys are all about?
It is. It is highly so.
I was like, I'm just
Because
cut.
at times they show things which are not supposed to be shown. There are certain things which you can broadcast out there, but there are certain things which you need to withhold because it's your secret. If you have went through that and you know the pain which you went through for you to get that, you'll be able to understand. You will not just broadcast it out there or just show it out to people, but you understand, or no, this is my secret. I need to keep it. And
it's a sacred space.
Yes, because you know how nalmatwasa ne and then there's a time whereby maybe let's say for instance muthu tshwantsa sukume or anyathele mabala o metsa that ceremony.
The ones who came in after, how about to know the process? Understand? Because that's why khona nonyana batho ba ngata ba ya ko lefetlo because o states gore o ke tla be ke tsa so ke tla be ke tsa so ke tla tsa so
Ebile o jwetsa wena.
ebile o bolela wena o tla be so because it's very wrong. That is very wrong.
Because it's not the same.
I see ntwaso ebile gore o tlo verse nje a kene mo teng mo a itse ditso tseo. It's wrong.
Let me explain. Like another thing. Well, Eka Valley, like like where I'm from, like we used to have that, like Big Pashwa, did everything, and for me, it was never really. I never really thought it was such a huge deal. Up and still, I started seeing people like broadcasting it because I really felt like it's like a prayer to ancestors, and I've never felt a need to really explain that side of my family. But now when I started seeing it on reality TV shows, and then now I'm seeing these different color candles, and then I'm like, but I only know white ones. Why is there red, pink, yellow, blue, black and you start, because now for me, as I started like really like being away from, because I'm just like, this is getting scarier because I only know white candles, and if maybe we can be extreme, we'll know the yellow one, then purple, but now you will watch something on TV and then you sing purple, green, black, blue, and
LGBTI.
Listen, I'm LGBTI yonke. And the thing is that I am so superstitious, guys. You don't understand. So anything that I see that is like that, especially when it deals with spirituality, I run for my life. And I've seen the way it's been so commercialized. It's so when
Coco. Especially because khale batho bana banana hore like dingaka ke baloi. That's how they used to be perceived. And even in our communities, when there's an albino child missing, the first suspect will be the local sangoma. So how has that shaped sangoma? Do you guys still face such hatred and such stigmatization?
So people are actually drifting away from that because people have more knowledge about what's going on in the initiation part and in the Sangoma part. So it is still there, but it's not that highly so as before. It has decreased to a point whereby people know everything now. For okay, only feel auto it's so, only feel like Kansas Claris, so you're not saying anything. I won't lie, because how maybe let's say for instance, and then part of the family they're Christians, they would actually outline you as that person or you performing witchcraft, understand? But if you actually sit down with them, that's what Naki yetsang to you. Ha ke dutse le batho le gore ke lo bereka go motsong wa batho, and then go na le family ke batla family otlhe gore ke tle ke khone ke tlhatlhobe family otlhe tlhatlhobe motse otlhe at that time, at that instance ke batla gore ke outline it to everyone gore no go so le so. Don't look at us in a perspective of gore this person is a witch, this person wa toro bolaya.
There's a program now that you're talking about Tulhahluba, on Moja Love. This I don't know what's the woman's name, or like she scribbles when she speaks.
Okay, yes.
I find her personally to be one of the most rude people under the sun, in terms of how the message gets delivered, and in terms of how she once said to this gay guy, "Wowzens in Tombazan." And she will say, Guti, abakfuni, and the way she delivers the message is the way that even if idlozi, li aggressive, you're able to talk to that person and without you trying to belittle the next person. A part of me, it's like, how do you even deliver such a message in that tone? Because I feel that if you're here to heal and make things better, you cannot be that aggressive. Like, please, function.
Abantu abakhona ukucontrola idlozi labo because they have not went through that process. Angeke uhlale phansi bese uzokhona ukuthi opule abantu. You have that knowledge or you have that in you.
Yeah.
But because of you have not trained this thing which is inside you.
So you feel like she's not trained?
No. At all.
She's not trained.
No.
Because, guys, I promise you, when I saw that,
No.
I was like,
No.
you can't say that. You can't, like, there's a way. Listen, I've went to a medium before. I've went to Tez. And Tez, when she spoke, she was like, I can, because, they link. Then, because I haven't spoken, and I've been angry at my father for the longest time. And then Tez tapped into my father. My father was there. And she called me the name that my father called me with. And then I knew that my father was in the room. And then I started crying. I'm even getting teary-eyed. And then I started crying because I was like, that's the only... And even though my father's like, I know he's gay. Yeah, but anyway, I call his boyfriends the girls. There's a way to deliver. And I was like, so when I watch from spending time with Tez or being with Katli when he connects to spiritual world and then seeing someone do that to another person, that makes me retaliate. So you can imagine when someone is like, Hadi Kenny Vele is a Christian, and you look at that, you're like, is this for show or Gwenzagalan?
It's for sure. It's for sure. If you can go back and say, there's a program which played this week. Did you see what that girl did? Mo live show. Umoya.
Yeah.
O mantse motho on a live show. You understand? So, abatsogela ke badimo teng mo. Understand? Because ha fua the thing or ha go through the thing ya gore let me train myself or get trained or no. Bua sentle le batho. Because there's a part whereby I don't know if I should say this or what. Khona le madlozi a mondawa le gore a femba, you understand? So if le gore mo femba o wa hao, o femba motho le gore in most cases there's
Mofembo. What's
yes.
Mofembo?
I cannot go deeper into it. So there's a thing whereby batho ba le gore ba ipitsa di medium, di sia, di AA. Go sogola ntho tse ngata gona no go.
Ba bang they read you with the zodiac star signs.
Okay, and then but then ha ke address ntwe or ha ile gore ke tsena mo this trans ke kena in a wrong way because I'm not trained to do so. So how can I moting? O tla chika batho tla shapa batho tla snacks. Because how we told tshwantse we saying how le more that part.
Now, coming to this one, I was asking, I'm asking you this because sometimes I got like, please leave me alone. Have you ever seen those people who have done everything wrong? Ne? Umoshile, and then has like usinset like umosha next thing was about begahlushwa idlozi. How true is that when like kusho ukuthi ngimoshe ngaleyo ndlela leyo ukuthi guys ngidestroyile man ngitshise dintlo hey ngisuka rape ngayenza ini maqede bese maqede sengiyabuya sengiyathwasa sengirathi bese bathi bekahlushwa idlozi. Please explain, how does that happen?
I mean, I don't believe on that.
Guys, they have to tell us no actually ubunzima kanjani.
Little something lo hlupe from a young age. Little something lo hlupe lo re in a certain perspective on the certain level mo bophelong ba hao.
Yeah.
Understand? Yes. Because it goes way back mandulo. Gore batho ba golo bone ne go etsagalang ka bone gore gona le sango ba se le ne se practice mo jarteng or gona se se practice mo family wa khale. So I ka se re gona le sango ba la khale ne le teng o tlhokofetseng khono o wa batho o ithobaletse and then motho o etsa ntho tse wrong and then ka se be ke rona le those. No.
There's a point was like maybe it does.
Abantu abadala they select who they know can handle the gift that they want to channel or direct to. You do. People just wake up in the morning and feel hore because I khona thola mosebetsi dilo tsa ka di tsamaya hantle e re go thwasa. That's the trend that's happening now. Because you are and you're wasting people's time. And there was a time I saw you kept on looking at me. I was boiling. I almost stood up here because the more he kept on speaking on how things are done, it makes me angry because we are now being labeled as people.
So, do you guys find people, do you find people mishandling their gifts in a sense that mutu ufiwe a gift of healing, but let's say the method by the berekisang sometimes it's not methods. It's a you know, do people mishandle gifts?
That's happening in the now life. It does happen. That's why badimo ba ngata ba tswala ditsela tsa batho ba bang. Go na le batho ba le gore o tla tsama a re no ke thwasitse ke ne ke bona and then a ke sa tlhole ke bona ke batho ba ntseng jwalo. Because why? Because o misuse le ntho e le gore o na e feel gift and o na e feel in. O misuse le to a point whereby ha sa tlhole a bona next go blank.
Mara babang, they don't stop. Like that's a bone. I never such a. Guys.
Also, you know this thing. Have you experienced it or like with there's certain people where because sometimes it just comes naturally. You try to force it. Because it's no longer there, but you are forcing her daughter. But I used to be able to topamo to anywhere at any time. Now, because it's not happening, people are not accepting the fact that it's a transition. Sometimes you start there and then you mature and you graduate. It no longer has to be the case. Somebody has to come and sit with you, kondumbeng, a consult, because madlozi anong ha ba sa batla go etsa consultation ya mahala. O khanyisa jwang gore ditaba di tswe.
It gets to the point where batho ba no gona nung go la this nya go twala. Go la this thing ya go kinya slwane.
How true is that thing, guys?
There's that part whereby o tlhatlhoba ka o nne le noga o nne le eng ke ntho tse le gore tse di snacks le batho ba di etsa to that point gore ba batla go nna.
Does that happen, guys? Now you know I just think it's there.
It's there. It's
I told you
happening.
last night.
Guys,
It's
you know this is
happening.
getting more.
Batho ba etsa ntho tse snacks in order gore ba achieve dilo tse le gore ga bana tsone or tse le gore di tswile mo bone because ba etsa ntho tse snacks mo bophelong ba bone. That's why ke re and go na le this thing e le gore the queer family or ke re group
Yeah.
le gore ba etse le gore ba sa ba notice the minute le gore o utlwana le motho I'm getting to another topic.
Yes, no. I'm
utlwana le motho
o go tla hantle.
and then o tsama o lo robalana le batho ba ngata. How many spirits have you carried inside you at that time and point? You understand that? So how o kenya di spirits di ngata tse mo mmeleng wa hao wa re tlo tsa o le berekele jwang because o kentse di spirits tse di ngata mo mmeleng wa hao and how understand gore motho o na le party o na le lucky o na le eng bontse ro bala.
Does using a condom help protect you
from? It does not help because ntsela ya motho it's very deep.
That's why I'm like so.
So remember, the body oozes sweat. So the minute you guys start touching, whether you are sweating or not, already the glands are open.
When I broke up with my ex, I remember. Have you ever hated someone so much that you wanted cleansing ceremony? And I said to Kat, I think I need a cleansing ceremony. And so my sister and I were passing at the shops. What is wash? See pink. It hasn't finally washed.
So you wanted him back?
No, I wanted to wash it away.
What he was buying.
I was like, I see this pink. This pink swasher is very popular. It's like a sachet. So my sister's like, what are you going to do with that? I'm going to cleanse myself away from this man. Because I feel disgusting inside.
And you guys forget to go past our hands.
Bakopane batho bana le ukopane le ena spiritually so le connectile. You understand? So that's why most batho are a ke khone go lebala exact. A ke khone go lebala eng motho le rona le mo phelong ba ka so and so. It's because of the connections le gore le nna le tsone wena le ena.
Can you unbreak those things?
You can unbreak it. You can.
When am I coming, Mina?
When now you need to set your mindset before you set your inside, your spirit inside. You have to set your mentality. Or no, you know what? I want to move away from this.
But what I have now, but most of the thing is like when you talk about spiritual connections, and it's how, because that's why I'm asking, like when you use a condom, is it?
No,
so
it's
still there. I've seen something with sex workers, right? And there's a place that I like. There is there's sex workers. I've always chilling there at times, and I could see in those women's eyes sometimes, or in also in some of the guys, because it's also like men that are sex workers, I always feel like something has been stolen away from them. I see it in their eyes. Like, I don't know, is it because of those many partners, or is it just them maybe just like giving up on themselves?
It's because of many partners. That's why most of our lady sex workers, but they have stolen my innocence. They don't understand. They've stolen your spiritual side from you. But it's inside the dark side. That's why you cannot be able to see what ke phelelang. Am I going forward? Am I going backwards? Or what's It's because of happy physically so, and affecting the spiritual side.
So now, how does it work when, like I said, when coming to with the queer way of sangomas, when leading up, when I see the level of them sleeping with one another, how does that work? Does it take anything away from them, or does it make you more powerful?
You know, there's I don't know if Katlego knows about this.
It's a good question.
There is something, there's a saying whereby there's this concept. If you sleep with the woman and you're a guy, ne? And then this kind of connection
When you sleep with a woman.
Yes. But if you sleep with a guy, that's where you get more luck.
More luck.
But I'm still looking
Let's look, because now you said sleeping with so many people takes away, and then when you sleep with other men to men, so when it's woman to woman,
Leon right?
Yes.
I'm a LGBT.
That's what about LGBTI, because Renale this spirit side heavy, email bangata. That's why most of the LGBT are habaratiwing. Because they email about Rabba email.
Sure.
Because of that thing. How wonder why most of gays, lesbians, LGBTI, let me say LGBTI, what?
Yeah.
Really more successful, really more open, really more like a republic and all those things. Because of why? Because of into immoral.
So would you say refiwe?
Refiwe, yes.
Another question.
Shining is Antonina.
Do you guys, like, let's say, do you guys suspend people for misconduct, like gobela amolestang bana? Is there such things as suspension or khotadula fatshe ganyane o ithole right ka motlhogong kapa hlaula and nakhona hlaula kubani? You know, if like we find that in the community gobela umolestile ngwana.
Yes,
that too.
we can do that. So Renale, this thing represents an THO, an organization, a THO. So you can be able to or address that person there, or report the case. They'll seize the license, practice, of which and then that's where you actually Kenya police and all those people understand. And then or let me say for instance, we are drunk, you need to cleanse. In order for we cleanse o tlo khona go obereke sentle, because I go sebenza le bomnyameni.
So tlo bereka ma.
Go le ba bereka, go le ba ba kwalwang.
Okay.
Go ya ka sedimo sa gore se bogale bo kana kana.
And then is there like sangomas that operate without this license?
They are sangomas. There are sangomas who operate without the license. Most. Okay, let me say most of the response which I've been given from most sangomas is that the degrade the spiritual side, or the degrade the traditional side ya motho or bongaka, so to say, because deprive the rights how as a sangoma person. Understand?
So when you are a sangoma in a relationship, how does that work? Because I've always been like, I was watching Umnagwe to Mama Isangum, then they introduced them. I'm like, so didn't you have a vision?
I was asked in the past relationship. My ex got into the relationship knowing very well who I was because it's visible when you get to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not one to explain who I am.
Sorry for sleeping on your thing, but
it's not a thing.
Joke about memory. What happened?
So I went to Kathleen's house and I was tipsy. And then there was his cloth, his traditional cloth on the bed. So I just just went in like, poof, and slept. So Kathleen took offense. Because for me, I'm like, it's just a cloth, my love.
And people, like I said, people don't understand, it's not just Indoango because bareng ka Sesotho le phulusitswe wa tlhaloganya. There's a reason why how it's a journey, how it's a mayang, how graduate. There's a reason why masela a otle le di pekatse tsotlhe tso di aparang le di coat because like I said, so some of us rapara this and that, and it depends on the day and the mood, how you feel or who you connecting to more on that day, who wants you to put on whatever on top. And because everything has gone through that whole process with you, or graduate, people don't understand once I've had sex, up until because I'm dirty. So if I'm going to have sex this afternoon, if moya ka ha right, there's no way. And I at least the houranyana before ke tlo tshwara lesela laka.
I remember I was interviewed by Dineo Langa. She's Dineo Langa. I think she's Dineo Langa now. Dineo Kids. And so I was wearing at the Channel O Awards. Bujy, unprovoked, went and bought Kabala lesela la masango, a little red, white, Kabala was star, Harry and Kai Kenya glitter, red carpet. Dineo was like, so we are to us. I'm like, no. But she was so confused. It's like, is Bujy aware of what he's doing?
Yeah.
And that time, love, I can stress-free into tralala yetang. Up and down. Like, I am like,
when's the cape?
I don't even see.
And to make matters worse, we cape seats. Little does he know what it means. Little does he know what it means, but also you can't blame someone who doesn't have the knowledge.
Is there repercussions for like lack of knowledge?
And I wouldn't, my personal opinion, I wouldn't say there are any repercussions if you don't know.
Yeah.
But if you someone
now I
who's
know
gifted,
I wouldn't.
If you're someone who's gifted and you are aware that you are gifted and you go and wake up, there's repercussions.
A friend of mine was once involved in and then after their sexual session, this girl told my friend that you have to cleanse me. Like, how true are those things?
Okay, so to be quite honest, Katabaya, your friend, that person does say about clearly to your friend or no. Because affect next, like about spiritually so. Affect next. Because how similar there's a part whereby it's a process thing. How more committed relationship. In order for it to affect your spirit world or it affect
this is treason.
And also they need to, I mean, with my ex-husband, we had to go through the whole process of rohlapisiwa ko nukeng together because it needed to be done. And a healer or whoever, we go to the same place. And then well, also it's sense of knowing where you belong in terms of spiritual guidance. So madlozi a rena yaanong o itse gore badimo ba kopana even more. So in terms of growing and success, we grow together. I say earlier gore ke tsamaya ke le one, and then guidance ya ka ke one, protection ya ka ke one.
I saw something like I know that I also saw it when it was done with Somiz and Mohale's wedding when I was watching Showmax. And is that part really, how important is that? Because now, what if we divorce? Like you went through a divorce, so do you have to go back and do another ceremony?
You have
And
to
detach
go back.
yourself?
You have to go back and just inform your ancestors.
Ukuthi
Sorry,
akasekho.
akasekho lo muntu lo. Know that.
So you don't have to slaughter anything?
You can slaughter if
you
they.
want to.
It goes with the guidance which they give you. So most of us slaughter, some don't. You understand? So you can just go back, and most of us slaughter, but most of us when I was slaughter, you just inform or some people or show. But you know the sad part getting. If you look when I'm ne, and then la hlukana. In the spirit world, even though you ukashe some people and do all those things, know that you're still married.
You're still married and
You
connected.
are still married. La o ka kra motho o montsha wa monyana. But bone ba recognize that the first person o le gore o connected le ene ka taba tsa semoya.
Because of nyoko here.
Yes.
Hence why me and my ex-husband, and I'm going to mention his name, Dumelo, it's been 7 years now, and 7 years later, akuhambi kahle. So
Kuwe or kuwe.
both. So we've always loved each other, and you know I've been through this whole process, with you being there, you know. But for us, when you know that you still love that person, and it's not just love because you don't have option, it's love that is so internal. It comes within your inner spirit. It's because of exactly what he's just saying. We are now in the process of trying to reconcile again, because you know what, we've realized one thing.
Why don't I know about this?
Because it's more recent, and it's not something that I want to share with anyone at the moment. And I'm sharing it now because I feel like it's the right
It's
time.
the right time.
And this is why I'm saying spiritual guidance will sometimes make you say things when you think I don't want to say it, but it will just come out. And for us having to be at the mindset that we are now, because we've just realized ukuthi konje kahle kahle yazisihlanganisa amadlozi, and not just because in re hlabisitse kene ko metsing re hlapile re entseng. So it's a whole process that we created that you cannot just untangle with pieces of paper that you sign.
A covenant now.
I remember when when I broke up with my ex, the one that passed away, because I loved him so much, but we just couldn't be together because I just wanted bigger things in life. And at him at some point, he was just chilled, you know, he didn't want to do, and it's not like he used to ask me for money or anything, like, he was just like, do your thing, like, so, and when we were supposed to connect, and then he passed away the very same month, like, he was attacked, and then he died. And ever since then, everyone that I meet, I always say to people, because I was with that guy, and we loved each other, I know what love is. So when you come with something, I'm like, this is, and not because I'm saying maybe we're bonded by spirituality, because I just knew how love functions. However, there was no slaughtering that we did. We just had sex.
So
Next, way too deep.
I've got another one. When does it become like witchcraft? In a sense that I think when my partner goes to consult Utisa relationship without me being there, now I'll perceive it as witchcraft, you know, because you are doing TC relationship without me being present or without my knowledge.
Well, it's wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. It's totally wrong. It is totally wrong. Because orwala moya wa motho mong, although when ena a sa tsebe gore o so connected wena. So yena a ka se kgone go la le gore yena o etsa ntho tse snacks mo relationship, and then when o ka se kgone gore o move on because o connectile o wena o sa tsebe.
Oh,
that's why sometimes you find people still dreaming and apapamar yo katlego.
Or are ke lorile ke robalane le
Ke robalane le
ba.
Katleho, yeah.
Ne re etsa so.
And it felt so real.
Are you serious?
So ke bolowe. And also dizangoma tse kgonang ho thusa motho a tla ka brief eo jwalo ke nahana re le bona they are contributing to witchcraft.
Look, I want to really comment on that. Yes, money, and now during the whole process that I had to fight Lozi Ewan because Kiona and from my father's side is told. So I had to go through this whole process of saying, listen, na akitwa peswa kamoya omubi. So ba ileng gore ba ntle le ka dilo tse right. Ke kopa le emelo ko morago. Ke batla batho ba ba so batle ko.
Oh, so likhona vele
Yeah.
likhona vele ustoter.
Go tla batlosa wote ana go le le ba batho ba tlo go ruta boloi ba etsa everything. That's why nane for me each and every initiate e le gore ya kena. I would actually prefer gore ke motlhatswe pele ka ditlhare. Ke tlhatswa madlozi gone a mabe before a tlo simolla the journey. The first 2 weeks or the first 3 weeks go tlo dependa ka ene gore o tlhatswe go le jwang. Mare ke tlhatswa pele ntho tse snacks tse mo yene pele ka ditlhare, and then that's then a tlo simolla ka ditlhare tse le gore di dintle tse le gore o tlo simolla go kopisa mo tsona.
Gora khona lo go ntsha moya ke re tshwantse o bodle nana because o ka se tso go thasong sa bodla. What's the point of you going there and people just feel gore okay ke feditse 3 months ke right. So
because I think that's why people, I remember when people attacked Boiti bare ke lidlozi la Slay Queen. I mean sorry ke sangoma la Slay Queen because habambona duty for 6 months and say ing. How important is it for someone to stay maybe in one place? Because in Lil Cat, I'm like, when we look at private school initiation.
Madlozi are different.
Yeah.
So gona le batho ba ile gore tshwantse ba kene ba ntse ba tswa. Because gona re living in 21st century. So if o le gore motho wa kena mo lefetlong e le gore wa bona gore no this person a ka kgona gore a grasp ntho tse ngata without him being here or her being here. So a ka dula ko ntlong maybe a tla ka di weekends or at maybe ha a chaisa then go back home because I can orida mentality ya motho orida the maturity ya motho o kena mo lefetlong gore motho o a ka se ntho tse snacks a ka se tabo ga tsamaya monating a ka se tabo ga tsamaya a lo robalana a ka se tabo ga etsa eng dio tse
kana concert was
yes but o tla bathwasa motho o mo kenya mo lefetlong o meletsa ntho tse o meletsa magobango ko ntlong o meletsa dio tse tletse ko ntlong in order gore yene ga a tla mo lefetlong o tla fela ka gore a rutwe dio tse ding tse le gore ga di tsebe or tse le go tsa di tsebe tsa mo lefetlong.
And hona le ngwe ke boning now of which for me it was a shocker. This woman is like o ka thwasa online.
Engi?
Eyona iyo. Eyona ga
Jwang?
Are o ka thwasa online.
Thwasa online.
Okay.
Wa bona le re tse le magoba o etsa magoba yang online. I mean serious.
O tla o sendela ka poso. Video call.
Virtual.
I saw that. Like I don't want to lie. For me, I was
Do you
like,
see why I got angry earlier on? This is becoming bullshit now. Because it's mediocre, guys. I mean, no.
Wa bona go tlhatlhoba motho online. There I can actually condone. Then I can say, okay, no, it's fine. You can do
Not
it.
go twasa.
And then how's no how to ga phakela o le twasa online o tsoga ore baba ke lo rile toro so go kra ka ena ka gore ke tlhatlhobe toro ya gago go kra ka ena ka gore ke tshisa mpepo lwena o nnete ke o bege gore ke kopa gore le tlhaise 1 2 3 4 5 le tlhaise ngwa kopela or le mo explain le gore why le mo tse so go e kra ka ena ko e because ona twasa online go ra gore o light mpepo nna ke light mpepo be retsa visual.
And then nakona o robetse le batho ba 3 within 3 days. So 3 different men. Tshwantse o hlatswiwe. Madi a ha tshwantse a faila ke re tshwantse go etsetsa tie yang. Ke tla romela tie kang.
Ka poso.
Postnet. Like guys, it doesn't make sense. You can't do twasa online.
Let's download the video tsa di go di slaughter bo re.
Eh gore. Yeah. Gore go tsele ka madi ke tshela ko screening ke re nana ke a o hlatswa ke a o hlapisa. No guys, it's nonsense.
Another thing when it comes to slaughtering, there's this book that I once read that made me realize that most people, when we slaughter, we don't understand that anything that is a blood sacrifice opens a certain spiritual door.
It does. And when
I read that part,
badimo madi ba batla
Are you
O
serious?
ka se hlabe ha one and then wa emela 10 years. A kere ba tlwaeditse dijo tseo. Ba di batla.
So it's continuous work.
Yes, Chomi, ho hlabile ka December. Next year, hlaba hape ka December.
So now let's talk about like those who kill people in order for them to be strong and stuff.
Yes.
So you must keep on.
You must keep on sacrificing.
And about
It's a
it-
family member.
It's a
Keep on
O
doing
botsile
it.
ba ate akere.
Yo,
Batho ba sacrifice ka di-family member, batho ba sacrifice ka dihumpu tsa bone, batho ba sacrifice ka manhood wa bone. Go busy,
Mara
go
who
busy
we
mo
are now
lapeng.
going guy because we told I won.
Wa sacrifice ka yona. A kere no batla ntho e batlang, o batla tšhelete akere, o batla go tlhatlhoba, o batla go nna le matshwasi. Mara o tla bo sacrifice ka ntho le o na le yona.
Okay, hence the mutilation. Do you guys think some of these things really used to happen? Matlo,
A lot.
abana-
A lot. The albino.
And it still happens.
It
I
still
spoke about a snake
happens.
as well last night.
Ha o bone
And he
batho
was
mo
shocked.
yes go na le nyana batho go na le most ya di crime scene or re kere di case le ontse di tlhaela gona no gore batho ba khatwa matswele ba khatwa di vagina ba khatwa eng dio tseo ba di berekisa
Utisa Ndumba.
go tisa ndumba go tisa maphelo a bone gore ba gain more money.
And gore o kgone bana le traffic, di client dale.
That is.
Because khona no re tibiste tšhelete akere. So some of them are doing the wrong things. That's why akere this is becoming a money making scheme.
That's why batho ba charge 2,000 rand go
O
tlhatlhoba
tlhatlhoba.
o
Ke
kile
la
bona
bona ka o
ka
charge 1,000 rand o tlhatlhoba.
How guys?
go sport
Wala.
go sport go charge 12 rand go tlhatlhoba motho go
And
sport
Ole, have you also picked this up?
12 rand.
Yes.
It's 12 rand
Because
for
mama
Tlhatlhoba
bekangena St. John's so bofika khanye se babakhela amanzi empompini guys I'm honest
Hey,
like
nana wano
amanzi empompini bakulayitele ikhandlela this because umama was in St. John's and I knew this for some reason and I just loved drinking that water for every time when I feel like I did something wrong I'll go to my mom's corner and drink. I'm so sorry.
And sometimes you don't even have to do the pack weights. Like na kinalo go bana no gore like ho tlilo consult. Bana no go mpotsa gore only thing you should do ke kopa o tshele metsi ka mohara ha ya 2 liter wa rapelle.
Yes.
That's it.
And then o kre motare is that all how mpe ke re sweetie ke kopa o fetse le bottle le within 7 days. Ka tsatsi le a bo.
I ke batla makhatha ke batla di leaves.
Ke tlo
Ke batla
wa itse re pheko e tura yang mara.
inyawo ile
Ko etse pheko ba
kundwane.
sa re
It
ko
is
ka yona.
expensive. It is expensive. Pheko is expensive.
Pheko ya tura and nka so etse ba
Pheko
sa re
meaning-
Le
ko
o
ka
tsamaya
yona.
ditlhare
Yeah.
le o tsamaya o le dikopa ko di kopang teng it's very tiring.
Do you need a permit to go?
Go na le dipoleke tse di batlang permit go na le dipoleke tse di sa batlang permit.
Can't you plant your own?
You can.
You can.
Mara o ka se plante ditlhare tse tsotlhe jalo
I mean serious. Because
because
there's
go tlo kena motho o le o tshwereng ke o batla go rabele gate keng phokwana o tla tsena o lo batla gore batla eng so batho ba different o ka se ke wa ba motho o motlhophe mo jareteng mona o itse gore o tlhakantse ditlhare tsotlhe tsa motho o motlhophe e be le gore o ba tsone fela mo
e tshwana le leleme la lewatle o le jala yang ka mo jareteng.
Hey, you guys are
Yeah.
it is a lot.
But I must applaud the fact that disangoma di kgone pusha taba ya hore even when you want a sick leave you can get a letter from them. I think we have been progressive as a country.
You can get a sick leave from Sangoma.
Yeah.
Godly, darling.
Don't abuse my powers.
No,
I've already done it for you. So no.
No, I feel hore it's a good thing. Also, how about your twice? You can also apply for leave. But it's like the labor laws are being open for African spirituality, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is a
applaud
beautiful thing.
Whoever is in the front line of doing such, of pushing for such laws. So, thank you guys for making it seem. It was because we don't, like I said, we don't need papers for these things because you
True.
know what you're doing is not against anybody's. You don't need paper.
Can't we do like something that could help protect the queer community from the killings?
Because
Because
sonke singamazangwa manje.
Ungathi amaphoyisa ahlulekile thina senzani
Ke re tlo etsa?
amaphoyisa ahlulekile
Hape yena hore can't we do something? Then you're asking us.
You can
hore
only
qale
protect
boloi,
yourself.
ge.
you can only protect yourself
So
and then ntho o tlo iprotecta ke gore o sa tlhole nna le metsamo e mengata
I'm so tired of reading about gay guys being dead.
Oh, that's how you protect yourself.
And o ska lebala gona le batho ba bereka ka sethunya ba bereka ka thipa. So
Serious, guys. Hey, into ya luna is serious.
It's serious, guys.
it is way too deep
And now with the gay community, like the queer community as well, being part of this, and do you think also being sexually liberated like makes it work more? Like when you are
How so?
I don't know.
How so? Never.
It is highly impossible. It is highly impossible.
So what happens? Do you have to commit?
Yes. You need to commit. You cannot jump from.
So how is tembu is that is allowed of simple
in most cases, ne? Okay, I was initiated Kagiso in Natal, all those places, ne? So in most cases, you need to actually know with yourself, because most of the especially habakare ke that's where most of the stay understand. So I won't go deeper into it, but I'll just outline the basics. So that's why so o batla monna le understand this tsinyana. So if ile gore o batla gore o nne le life ile gore e tswela pele ile gore e ina le di lucky and everything mo pelong ba hao. Now what I would say is that not committed, because there's nothing which beats commitment. It doesn't help or hop from one bed to another. It doesn't help at all, because how we talk or lata temo.
But now, what does it feel like? It's always like at these events, I would be at Kokodi Manchoman, and then I'll feel like I will be dating Amanda. Amanda is dating you, and then I don't know. And then at that time, you are dating Katli. Well, Katli is sleeping with me. Intersection. And then you just sit there.
Hear me production. That is why you will.
But now, how do you like?
Kore ha qualify le ho fola under category ya lethwasana. Kore wa mona o sutlile ke
batho by right.
O setle fetse chom gore ke sono.
Mara what if let's a scheme kaofela? Ankere like intersection.
Then I shouldn't be practicing what I am.
Le push on just toad. Oh. Le push on just toad. Batlo shapela matso kwa ko clinicing kwa go sepetlele. Ba shapela matso manese gore o jile banana. Clapping hands. Because how we took on to yetsang. It is the repercussions that in mo pelong ba hao.
Nice one.
I once met a girl, guys, and I'm very interested. I once met a girl. I even sang it like on my new song that's coming out because, and then she kept on saying, Yasmin, I'm going to less fair. So, yeah, Lifuna guti mina. Lena want, Ngata when I was yes.
No, akagezwanga.
So,
you have to be cleansed first before you get into the initiation process.
And then she kept on saying so many times, guys, throughout the night.
Guys, like I said, it's a journey. How many times before you actually go through initiation? Because you just have to make sure that you are fully cleansed. Because that's just how it's destined. People just don't respect the whole process of this. Nakweo. Pay for it and kill it.
So
can make it happen.
Can someone who sit I get it
No.
Like someone. Yeah? No, I'm saying, you know, like I said, that most cases you find that when somebody is gay, what you know, you trust because you never think it lose them fazi. And like you just like, but you are just gay, you know. You just deal with your mind, and then you find them doing all these things. It's so many guys who's creating
practice. Hey, by practice, la bantu manje. uyapractice ukuthi ngathi nginedlozi avuse into engekho nje yazi le idlozi leli akhuluma amanga all lies
enze bengenza kuna usele the show enze
yes apractice gore ke tsetsa dizo yebo
serious
thola ba bobo ke re mara king
but how can you tell whether it's fake or not?
you can just I get le go tsora pele le ko di game a go kopana le motho a ime fela a sa bontse gore ke ke o tlo kgona gore o reach ke di ha gore ke game motho ke
like vele gay la emi fela go stop
it's fela ya
it's not rona but ba msebetsi wa rona if sometimes you are lucky enough to pick up maybe the spirit nyana tse pedi tsa ko bona and you smile on your own you're like it doesn't mean that I have to make him aware get connected no they're just saying hello le reteng and it's also
but you know I feel like I've seen so many gay sangomas and lesbian sangomas
me too
there's a lot
to a point whereby I thought very please fix my words like I don't think it will be like utolokari let's say ukenu ke lidlozi la monna and utolori sangoma sa gay ukenu it's like it's vice versa it's vice versa we put why ungangenanga lo why is it all the time the lesbian will be saying ngeno idlozi lo umuntu yeah and then the gay will saying ngeno idlozi lo muntu like why ungangena umuntu obonayo umenze life yakhe is like a peace like akhona ulukisa mantswe aka ne but ke wankutla re kereng
no ke a utla
ore wayo ndoda nganga kwendoda omfaza ayikufazi
because I think we LGBTI bonke bakhuluma the same thing hayi mina
it's always
mina nginedlozi lendoda I know very well linenkani kabi even with my partners hlala silwa but it's a point where I need to be able to say, it is something which is in me. No, you know something or pick up certain lines or certain ways and then reprimanda maybe in a certain way.
So wabona before respond to inboxing.
Sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time.
Lord,
I can tell when he comes back home. Atwa kai abua maka hore. And ba lebala hore kana.
And o se ka moya. O se ka moya. O tso botsa dipotso.
Ai guys.
And o tso moya, o tso a tsa itshwara ka lelebe. O tso tswella. O tsana le smumo ko di game again. O tsana le smumo gore go na le batho ba understand na gore o smumo se so. Na in idiom. Yebo. Ngale go moja baka smumo sa go spiritual spirit world.
And I
over di karabo. Omo over di taba. As a notice.
Lesile guys.
No, na hene ke la itampepo. Ex hene ke la itampepo. Na tswa ka montlung. Wa tseba hore yo go tlonyiwa. Heke net fela ha ukwa khwasha plastic ya ka. A ukwa kwash. Ka mokare dikhetsa ko le di kae. Do you know
what?
Can I
tell you also what I've learned, not because I'm like spiritual gifted or anything. With each and every relationship that I start, guys, I pray about it. I always say, I'm like, please. And I usually say, Mom, well, you know better. Girl, if he's not the one, within 2 days, he's going to do something so stupid. And then I'm like, oh, that was too soon. I started 2 months in again. You know, and I feel like, I think also as human beings, we need to learn to practice that. To say, sometimes you shouldn't wait for, when you start a relationship, say, like, if it's not going to work, please, like now.
I think also it's important to understand that we are spiritual beings. Outside this world, you need to have an awakening of who you are. And this is just a physical world, but there is a spiritual world that we should all prep ourselves for. Because sometimes you know, it's things that you are fighting and you are not even aware that you are fighting generational curses. You are fighting things that
Always.
that came before even you were born in your family. So now I'd always advise people at least believe in something, because
pray, man.
no,
like
I respect the like Motosa rappelling, you know, but I'm just saying, can you believe in something that can actually help you? Because we don't live in this physical world alone. Like, we just being honest. You sleep, you dream of things, and even if you don't want the translation of the dream, but believe in something, because you are going to be vulnerable.
I am the greatest when it comes to my instincts, and they've never failed me. You know, I'll see something, and I think as something that I've learned, you know, even when Oprah Winfrey spoke about it, it's been there. You know, before even it gets worse when they now have to confirm it. It's just like, because it's just there, you know. And I also one thing that I've learned also about being a spiritual being is that don't be afraid to be vulnerable as well. You know, because I think sometimes the reason why we end up not believing is because we feel like we're exposed or what. Because I feel like being strong is a trap, guys, and I'm not strong. I don't. You are very strong. We can handle social media. And like, I don't have time to be strong. For Luna, so I guess with everything being said and done, with the whole spiritual journey,
We need a week for this.
we need a week for this.
We can't do it in one day.
But what would you say to a young person or to
Find yourself, do a self-introspection first before going to a journey which you don't know of. Stop connecting with a lot of people. Just find yourself first. And I get how you are able to evaluate, no, I'm in a bad space. Look for a person who connect. That's how you'll be able to move forward more. And don't rush into but rush into understanding to although at times control before when you even get to a point of understanding to but whenever you understand that pele o ipatisise in order gore ga itse gore ke kena mole ke itse gore ke kenelang ene ke itse gore ke tlabe ke batlang ene ke itse gore tlabe ke kenela in terms of gore nna ke ntshole gore tlabe ke etse lo e right mo teng mo yone pleke eo. So ha le gore o tshwere ke moya ene o monyane ene or o moholo even still, but know yourself, do a self introspection, understand the family history, understand each and everything, and also understand before looking at moyon.
You have to be healthy mentally as well.
Yes.
Because you honale badim ba ileng hore ababatle anger, ababatle gore holy stressed or angry. Ditsela moya wa khona kwalla. So you can't connect. So you also need to do a whole lot of mental check with yourself. And make sure that every time that you want to communicate or trying to assist a client, you are mentally cleansed and spiritually cleansed.
But now, because now I've made a conclusion now, Batuba Moya Barata Bujwala.
Me too.
Strong. I can blame Boko. We don't go to Bella Fella sniff as a modilo.
Babang Nabana Roybos tea, so I call it Bitlangumi, Komiki, Roybos, we see a more.
Runakurnarang, Rabuchepula. Fail. Local.
All right, guys, with that being said and done, listen, this has been so beautiful. This has been so eye-opening. And Ngiyathokoza. Khokho. Please, indlela zezivuleke. Amanda, to girl's a girl. I think the David Mashabela studios are quite blessed today to having this conversation, and thank you so much for coming through.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So don't forget, you can always join us here at David Mashabela studios. All you have to do, send an email, podcast@mashabela.co.za. And then, you know what? Otloma right. Yo, siyathokoza. Here we have live. Did I do it well? We're out.